Welcome to the Bears and Lions podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Vaught, and in today's conversation, I get to talk to you about tidying up your life. As I have been packing stuff up for this move, I have gone through a bunch of stuff, and it really has impacted me, and it's made me think about relationships, friendships, people I'm not going to see, people I am going to see, what's most important. So we talk about all of that and much more. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. If you want to comment, I'd love to see the comments below. If you're listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, thank you so much. Please rate that podcast and don't forget to follow and share. And if you would like to follow me on my socials, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram and X as well. So TikTok and X, it's at Kyle Vaught, K-Y-L-E-V as in Victor, A-T-T. And on Instagram, it's at Kyle_Vaught, V as in Victor, A-T-T. I hope you all enjoy. I'm actually in the process of packing all my stuff, and I'm going to be moving 10 hours away. You can actually see there's boxes behind me where I've begun this. And I'm in this weird mentality because I'm having to go through all of my stuff too, because I don't want to move it all. I really don't. So I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff. And I'm having to come to this decision of what's most important, right? What do I want to take with me? What do I want to get rid of? What do I want to sell? And I'm running into where I have a lot of stuff that's sentimental that just no longer brings me value. It doesn't mean they're not valuable. It just means that it's no longer valuable to me. So I'm getting rid of it. And as I've been going through this, I've realized, dang, I've actually had some of these issues in my friendships and relationships, because now I'm in this moment and in this momentum of, I know I'm moving, and this is in less than 2 weeks that I'm going to be gone in a new state. And it's hit me. I'm very thankful that Thanksgiving is before the move. So I am going to get to see a lot of family. I'm going to get to see a lot of the people who are closest to me and that I love. But it's also really difficult because I'm not going to see certain friends. I'm not going to see certain people that I really have enjoyed and gotten close with over the last year. I'm not going to get to see some of the family that I wanted to see before I left. My cousins just moved back into Tennessee, into this state, and now I'm moving. And I don't think I'm going to get to see them prior to moving. And I know that as soon as I leave, it's going to be a while before I come back down, because I'm going to be focused on putting in the work and becoming successful and being successful on my own and creating a life, right? Creating a future that is aside from just the immediate family that's around me in Chattanooga and the Tennessee area that I've grown up in. So now I get a chance to move out and go and do something completely new. But I am starting to realize, dang, what's most important? Who are the people who are most important that I do want to go say goodbye to? Who do I need to say goodbye to? Who do I need to tell, thank you for being my friend? Thank you for being there when I needed them. And maybe you're like me, where maybe it's not that you're moving, but maybe you have some things that are cluttering around. Maybe you have boxes that you've moved back and forth, and you have stuff in your closet, you have stuff under your bed, you have stuff in cabinets that you just haven't gone through in a while, and it no longer brings you value, and you have to let those go. And then maybe you have things that are of extreme value, but you have taken them for granted, and that also may be people. Maybe there are friends who have been there for you, and it's been a while since you've reached out just to say, thank you, I appreciate you being my friend. Thank you, I appreciate the times and the conversations we've had, because you don't know when you're going to shift your career, or when your life is going to change, or when you're going to have to say goodbye to somebody, or somebody gets a job opportunity and moves. So I've had this kind of this mentality as I've gone through stuff, is what is most important. And what has really impacted me is a couple years ago, there was a Netflix show. It's called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. And this KonMari method hit the mainstream, is minimalistic method of deciding how to tidy up your space and create your space. And now I'm in this mentality of, I'm going to have my own space. So how do I want, what aura, what presence, what essence do I want to bring into that space and create for myself? That energy that will give my space exactly what I want it to be, right? So how do I stay tidied up? How do I stay with that mentality so that it's easier and I'm not just cluttering up my life and bringing a bunch of stuff that no longer brings me value to a space like that? And so I just wanted to go through that with you today, because I think that this mentality can actually transverse into other areas of our life, other areas of our career, other areas of our relationships. So we'll just go through the KonMari method one by one. And we're just going to hit a couple talking points really quick. There are 6 points to the KonMari method. 1, commit yourself to tidying up. So maybe you're somebody who overthinks a lot, and you know that there are things in your life that you just need to clean up and you've procrastinated. Maybe it's your bathroom, maybe it's your bedroom, maybe it's your laundry, whatever it might be. There are so many memes and so many TikToks and Instagrams where I see, oh, if you want to do your laundry, just throw it on your bed. And then there's people who are like sleeping in the bed anyway with the dirty laundry. No, if that's something that you're doing, maybe that's exactly what you need to commit yourself to tidying up. Prepare yourself, make a plan mentally, say, I'm going to deal with this specific issue. So if it's a bathroom or a bedroom or laundry, deal with it. Make a plan and deal with it. Commit to saying, I'm going to do this laundry on this day and I'm going to get it done and cleaned up. Maybe it's because you have too much laundry. Maybe it's because you don't have enough laundry. Whatever it might be, make sure that you commit to it. The second point is imagine your ideal lifestyle. So take time to actually visualize, what would it look like if you had the dream bedroom? When you walk in the bedroom and everything has a place, everything looks tidy, visualize it. What does it look like? And then you can adapt your space. And I think it's important to branch this out into other aspects of our life, because what is your ideal lifestyle at work? What is your ideal lifestyle with relationships, with friendships, with people around you, with family? Is it that you need to have a workplace balance? Is it a friendship balance, right? You spend all of your time with friends, but you spend no time with yourself. And then you lack on some of the things that you know you need to get done by yourself, like laundry, because you're spending all of your time with friends. What's your ideal lifestyle in those aspects? Number 3, finish discarding first. And this is really hard. Letting go of sentimental clutter that no longer serves a purpose in your life. I can tell you, I've done this with quite a few friends and with quite a few people. I know there was a purpose during the time of COVID and during a time of just complete depression and exhaustion where people were there for me, but we were not on the same path. It's that our paths crossed for a certain amount of time. They were going to bigger and better things, and I was going to completely different, bigger and better things. It is okay to let people go on to do successful things outside and far away from you. It is okay. And it's important to see it with the mentality that there are going to be people that are going to cross your path, and they're going to be there for a season, and they're going to bring you peace, but then they're going to go off and do what they were always supposed to do, and we're going to go off and do what we're always supposed to do. And bring it back to like what I'm doing with packing that's really helped me is getting rid of all the sentimental things that it doesn't bring me value. You know, there used to be things that I actually really loved. I had a keyboard, I had Xbox, I had a bunch of other stuff, but I took it to a place where you can trade in and sell it for cash just because I loved having that Xbox. I loved having the extra keyboard and stuff, but I have an extra keyboard already. That one was a really nice keyboard, and I just don't need it anymore. So it doesn't bring me value, and it'll bring somebody else value. So getting rid of it. Letting go, because even though it's sentimental, it's the first keyboard that I bought when I bought my new PC, but I don't need the Xbox anymore either because I have a PC and I can pretty much run any of the games that I would ever play, if I ever do play games, off of my PC and my nice monitor. So there's like things where I just realized it's of value, but it's not of value to me anymore. I had other things that I was really sentimental about where I no longer wanted, right? I thought they were amazing at first, but now it's no longer needed. It's no longer something that I want to tote from place to place to place because, yeah, it would be nice to, but at the same time, I'm just going to be moving essentially junk until I could set it up and have a specific area for it. But by then, it's going to cost me more to move it than to go buy a brand new one. So whatever it might be, that's helped me discard that. So there are people in our lives and there are things in our lives that we need to be okay with letting go of that sentimental clutter and calling it what it is. And some friendships and some people in our lives, some jobs, some aspects of just environment, dare I say even a family, is just sentimental clutter. Love them to death, but I don't need to drag them or take them along with me anymore. Number 4, tidying by category, not by location. So this one is unique because I've gone through a bunch of different old boxes and stuff like that. And I like this because it's asking how many things that are similar items do you own? So here's an example. And I kid you not, you can tell I'm bald. I hope you can tell I'm bald. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and you actually haven't seen me, I'm bald. I have a decent beard. I'm not going to I'd say it's a pretty decent beard. But it on top of the head, it doesn't grow. It's like Jason Statham, but I don't have the accent. So I found I have four different trimmers that I used over the years. And I bought a new one because one died. And I kept the old one because the blades were still good. I bought replacement blades. So I was like, if I ever need to, I'll use those blades off on the new one. I could get rid of that and just save the blades, but I didn't get rid of it. So I started calculating how many similar items I had and how many I could get rid of. Because you may have certain things in your life that you don't need like 12 of something, right? You can declutter your life by getting rid of some of those. And so being able to tidy by category allows you to calculate, okay, I have 22 brushes for my makeup. I only need 5. These other 17 are old, trashy, and need to be cleaned or need to be sold or need to be thrown out. And I don't need to keep those anymore. Like tidying by that instead of a location, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to do this corner and then this corner and then this corner and then this corner, you may find out that you've got one thing in every single corner. And just getting rid of it is valuable. Number 5, follow the right order. So this is in debt. We call this the snowball effect. Do some of the smaller tasks first. So some of the things you can get to really easy. Maybe you can go through while watching Netflix. Maybe you can go through while watching TV or sports or whatever. Go through some of those smaller aspects and just get rid of that small stuff. And as you complete a task, that task being complete, it's going to inspire you to do more. And you're going to see, oh, this section of all this stuff is now organized and neat. I wonder what I could do in this area. And this is something that I've had to do with some of my just bigger stuff because I'm going to be moving, right? I can't pack all of this stuff that I own into boxes and just take the whole thing. One, as soon as I get up there, guess what? I'm going to have to go through those boxes anyway. And I don't want to go through those boxes because a lot of that stuff I don't want anymore. It's not going to prove valuable and it's not going to be something that I'll use. It's not going to be organized, so I'm going to have to organize it up there. So why not get rid of it here? Then I don't have to move it. And then at the end of the day, if I get to a point where I need something like that, then I can remember or remind myself, hey, this time keep it organized so that I don't lose this and I'll keep using it. I have a stack of sticky notes. I have like 25 stacks of sticky notes. And I remember the reason I have that many is because I used to make stick figures with the folds of them. So if you flipped it like a flip book, you would have stick figure fights that were like really cool. And I was going to do that through all of those sticky notes as like a flip book, but I never did. But now I have a bunch of sticky notes that are good. And if I ever need Post-its, I have them. So I have them in a little box. I know what they are. It's got other art stuff in it. It's got other things. It's got pens, whatnot. All of that's together in one area. And number 6, ask yourself if it sparks joy. So this is the one that I think has been really beneficial for me in finding out, hey, you know what? This no longer brings me joy. I no longer need this, like the Xbox. It no longer brings me joy. I no longer need to carry this around. There's a couple other things that I've owned that I got rid of where I was like, this no longer brings me joy. I no longer need to do this. And there's a few things that I'm going to get rid of. And I feel bad getting rid of it because although it no longer brings me joy, at one point it did bring me joy. And because it no longer brings me joy, now I'm in this mentality and in this mental space of, I'm just going to get rid of it. It's not valuable for other people. It's not something that I can sell. It's just something that I just need to throw out. And it does pain me because I have to get rid of it, right? It's not something that I can just say, yeah, I'll set it aside. Nope, I'm not going to move it with me because then I'm going to have to just get rid of it up there. It's not going to have a place. It's not going to look great in the new apartment. It's not going to have a home in the new apartment. I don't want that energy brought into the new apartment because although it was a part of my past, I'm letting it stay in my past and I will create a new future where I'm going. Swing this back into our reality and the relationships and the friendships and the things like that. And this is just something that I've learned, right? Is that some things aren't meant to go with you into your future. Some people in your life, they're meant to give you a place of peace for a time. They're almost like a rest stop on a long road trip, right? They provide relief, but inevitably, you're never meant to stay there. You're never meant to stay at the rest stop. It's a part of the journey, and those people serve a purpose. And that's not to say use and discard people. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying be mindful of the fact that some people are just peace for a moment, and you love them, and you care for them, and you thank them. But at the end of the day, you keep moving forward on your journey. And I do think that there are a lot of aspects in our culture right now where you will fight for friendships that don't fit you. There's even a whole mentality of people who are trying to be in relationship, or they're upset at people who don't want to date them or don't want to give them the same effort, right? I'm no longer caring about people who don't put in the effort that I put into them. You may be putting in effort into somebody you were never supposed to put effort into because they were never supposed to slow down. They were on a different journey going towards something else. Their world does not revolve around you. And it's important to actually see that there are other things going on. And that may be a conversation that we have in full at some point, is recognizing the differences in a relationship and in friendships, and how you're choosing and how you view that is actually impacting the relationship based on you, not based on them, based on you. And that could be a really interesting conversation. But I just wanted to talk to you kind of about tidying up in life and tidying up those things, because there are so many aspects of what I'm going through right now and realizing, wow, I have a lot of junk and I have a lot of clutter. And maybe you're like me. Maybe you have a lot of junk and you have a lot of clutter and you just need to get rid of it. But that is going to do it for this conversation. If you want to follow me on my socials, you can find me on TikTok and X at Kyle Vaught. That's V as in Victor, A-T-T is my last name. K-Y-L-E is my first name. On Instagram, I'm at Kyle_Vaught, V as in Victor, A-T-T. I appreciate it. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, drop that follow. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share if you can. Means a lot to me. There's a lot happening because I am going to be moving here. So we're going to be rapid firing a couple episodes. And I'm going to do some pre-recorded episodes over the next few weeks. So the next episode will be, I believe, on Thanksgiving Day. So that's going to be super exciting. I cannot wait. We will have a Thanksgiving episode. It'll be a little bit shorter and we'll just be talking about thankfulness. For everybody else, remember to give grace, show love, and as always, stay stellar. Peace.